Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga Section. I'm here today to bring you the review for One Piece Manga Chapter 842. Early release this week, I don't know why, but who is complaining? Not me, or you? Not me, I'm happy. I'm good. Early manga is good manga. But yeah, let's just get into the review. So we have three separate parts that happen in this chapter. We got the first, okay, it's not the first part. First bit I'm going to talk about is Chopper and Carrot. They are running around Madame Brewery's, I think that was her name, Madame Brewery's mirror world. People seeing them in mirrors, and Madame Brewery's onto them, so she's chasing them, and we see that happened within the chapter. Nothing much to say about that. We have another bit of the chapter where we have Sanji, who starts off with Reiju, and they're getting ready to go to the engagement party. We see some high-tech facial mask which was able to repair Sanji's face somewhat, so his face is not 100%, but let's say like 80. The paleness from the effects is still there. And then we have Reiju asking Sanji, "How did you become this gentleman figure?" And then we go back into flashback. We see Sanji and the other chefs working under Zeph, and they're like, "Can't we get a lady chef?" And Zeph's like, "No." And go into the whole reason about how can't kick females. You kick females, you're worse than scum. These are not exact words, but you get the same point across. You're worse than scum. If I ever, well, what was most interesting was how Zeph said, "If I ever see you kick a female or even hear about it, I'm taking your balls, and then I'm going to slip my foot." That's how adamant Zeph is about not kicking females. So we get to see the birth of Sanji the Gentleman, sort of kind of run through that. The rest of the chapter is about Luffy and Nami, because Nami plays a part, finishing off Cracker. So first things off, we find out Luffy, he's still eating. He's saying he's full, he can't eat no more, but he's still managing to take more bites. We find out that Nami is weakening the cracker clones, the biscuit clones, with water. So that whole, I saw it on the I'm not exactly sure, but somewhere on the net I saw, oh, the weakness to the cracker biscuits is going to be coffee, tea, hot milk, and all them kind of things. So it somewhat did come true with the rain and the water, but we have that. So that was how Luffy was able to eat them, because apparently before the water affected them, they were too tough to be eaten. So we have that, and yeah, like I said, Luffy was eating, saving his food, but he's eating and eating and eating, and then he just gets really, really full. And then now I have to hold an L. I have to hold an L because in my last review, I'm pretty sure the last one, I said we can get rid of all these other Gear 4s and Gear 5 techniques. I'm not sure about Gear 5. I don't think Gear 5 is there quite yet. I think I can still hold my W for that. But there seems to be more Gear 4 attacks. Now, in this chapter, I think the one in this chapter, which was entitled Gear 4 Tankman Full Version, is new, and it simply came across because Luffy was so full that he was bigger. So is Luffy stronger than Cracker? I'm gonna say no, but because of the circumstances that he was in and Nami's help, he was able to create another Gear 4, a new Gear 4, kind of, like I said, his full version, and he was able to beat Cracker. And some things that I think play into this defeat as well, because we know from previous chapters, I think it might be the last one, if not the one before, Luffy says, "Cracker, you're losing stamina as well. You creating these biscuit clones off the biscuit clones. If the biscuit clones is eating into your stamina as well. If your stamina is draining, that means you're fatigued. If you're fatigued, you're less prone to injury." I'm getting too scientific when I think I'm right, but okay, if your stamina is depleted, you're more likely to be defeated. And this is what is happening within this fight. So when Cracker goes in for that final attack and Luffy rebounds him off, he's fatigued, he's also getting the impact of going through all those different Cracker clones. I saw about at least 3. So the impact of going through Cracker clone after Cracker clone after Cracker clone, Biscuit clone I should say, is also playing an effect into things. So with the combination of the circumstances and Nami, yes, Luffy was able to beat Cracker within this chapter. We see it. As Luffy says, he sends Cracker to the ends of the new world. But I don't think in a one-on-one fight, Luffy solo versus Cracker solo, that Luffy can come up on top. Even if you do think that you got to give respect where it's due, because due to the fact that Luffy had to go all out to defeat a commander of a Yonko. So yes, he may have been able to defeat Cracker. Yes, he might be stronger. I'm not saying that he is. In my personal opinion, he's not stronger than Cracker. But when it comes to a Yonko, you've got to admit Luffy is not ready yet. So yeah, the reason why I think, because he must have, before he started going into this eating frenzy, he must, because it's the next day, 11 hours has passed, more than 11 hours has passed, so he must have at some point tried out all his other gear for techniques and they must have then failed, and then that's when he goes into his eating mode. So imagine, this is what I think happened, because we don't get to see the whole fight. So we know that Luffy went straight gear for Bound Man. He was able to get a hit in, but that didn't work. In the time that we missed, I reckon he tried out all the other gear for techniques and those didn't work. He was tired, he was exhausted. That's when he started eating. The eating replenished his strength, and then he replenished his strength, and then we gave to this chapter where he thought, ooh, new idea, Tankman full version, and that was able to defeat him. That's what I think has happened, and that is I can accept. Also because he didn't do it himself, he had Nami's help. But yeah. So just before I go, I want to say two more things, just in case you missed it. There will be no One Piece manga chapter next week. Yeah, one of those, you know, you guys got to find something to fill the void, but you know, we'll get through it, guys. We'll get through it together. I don't know, maybe I'll try and bring out a discussion video or something, I don't know, I'll think about it. And the other thing is, so we know we have Bound Man. I'm talking about Gear 4, just in case you didn't realize. You got Bound Man, and now we got Tank Man. Now I know we don't see a lot of Tank Man within this chapter, but I'm starting to think, you know, what's the difference between them? Because I didn't really, obviously we didn't get to see a lot, so there wasn't enough time to see a difference. But I didn't really see a initial difference between the two. So I'm thinking to myself, what's the difference going to be? Also, how many Gear 4s? Different types of gear 4s do you think is going to have? Firstly, rough thinking there won't be more than 5. So I'm thinking 3 to 5 different gear 4s. But yeah, what do you think there'll be, and what do you think the difference will be? Because I really can't think of any differences regarding that. So let me know, comment section, and yeah. I'm going to give this chapter a 3-star rating and call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.